do I write a personal statement? Who do I ask for a letter of rec? Do I really have to take the SAT? What the heck is the Common App? Applying to college can feel like an endless to-do list. But while the whole process can be pretty stressful, it doesn't have to be confusing. And while we can't tell you the secret to crafting the best college app of all time, we can walk you through that laundry list of things that go into the best college app of all time to help you feel that much more prepared. Hi, I'm Erica Brzozowski. This is Study Hall, and here are 6 things you should know about college applications. From community colleges to trade schools to conservatories, pretty much all colleges have some sort of application process. For the purposes of this video, we're focusing on 4-year colleges that set you up with a bachelor's degree. But whether you want to be an opera singer, an electrician, or an accountant, the first step towards getting any type of degree is applying. Unless, of course, you want to get started with Study Hall instead. Before we talk more about college applications, we want to remind you about all the Study Hall courses that can jumpstart or restart your college and career journey right here on YouTube. Here's how it works. Watch any of the course videos on the Study Hall channel for free, then sign up for an online college course led by ASU faculty for just $25 and apply what you've learned. If at the end of the course you're happy with your grade, pay a fee that's about 1/3 of the cost of a college course to get 3 transferable college credits on your transcript. Whether you're building new skills, trying to earn college credit, or just proving to yourself that you can do it, Study Hall can help you reach your goals without the financial risk. Check out the link in the description or go to gostudyhall.com to learn more. Now back to those college applications. Believe it or not, the point of college applications actually isn't to make you suffer under the weight of our gargantuan checklist. Your college app is your way of showing someone you've never met, sitting in some faraway admissions office, exactly who you are and why you'd be a great fit for their school. You can think of it like a sales pitch, only what you're selling is yourself. While it's pretty painful to reduce your whole existence to something so small, it's a crucial part of scoring a spot at your dream school. Of course, every school has slightly different application requirements, which is one of the many things that makes the process so confusing. But there's some general requirements that pretty much all schools start with. In addition to all the basic forms asking about your name, age, and address, colleges are almost always going to want your official high school transcript so they can see what classes you've taken and how well you did in them. But colleges want to get to know you beyond just your grades. They're also interested in your hopes, your dreams, your deepest secrets, your greatest successes, referred to simply as your activities. This is stuff like volunteer work, extracurriculars, awards, and all your other notable good deeds. So you'll want to tell them all about how you were captain of the lacrosse team, or the president of chess club, or the lead in the spring musical to help give schools an idea of how you'll fit into their larger community. Colleges will also ask for some kind of personal statement, known colloquially as the infamous college essay. Incidentally, I was a college essay coach for 4 years. Sometimes schools provide specific prompts they'd like you to write to. Usually something about overcoming a challenge, reflecting on your background as a student and person, or how you discovered a hobby or passion. But these prompts are usually pretty vague. So a lot of the time, the personal statement is simply your chance to wax poetic about something near and dear to your heart and shine a light on an important part of yourself you think colleges should see. It helps colleges get to know you and see how well you can write and communicate your ideas, 2 crucial parts of being a college student. On top of that personal statement, some colleges will ask you to answer a couple other shorter essay questions, ones that are more specific to their school's culture or values. They might ask for other stuff too, like an in-person interview or even a portfolio or audition, depending on what program you're applying for. But colleges don't want to just take your word for how great, introspective, and talented you are, which is why they also ask for letters of recommendation. Your rec letter should come from people who know you well and can speak to your brilliance, your triumphs, and your moral fortitude. But they shouldn't be friends or family members because, those people are pretty biased. A current or very recent teacher is pretty much always the best choice, especially if you're still in high school. But coaches, club advisors, other school officials, or work supervisors or bosses can be good options too. On top of all that, some schools will also ask for standardized test scores like from the SAT or the ACT. But these tests are a little like last season's dress in that they're going out of style fast. At this point, most colleges don't require them. But some still do, so it's a good idea to do your research. So that's a lot of stuff, and pulling it together even once can take a lot of time. Thankfully, a lot of colleges streamline things with a nifty platform called the Common App that can save you and them a ton of time. The Common App is the online common application that lots of schools accept. It's used by over 1,000 colleges in the US. Instead of filling out different applications for every single college, the Common App lets you do the whole thing once and then send it out to the schools on your list with just the click of a button. The Common App contains spots to enter all the stuff we just talked about: demographic information, extracurriculars, transcripts, rec letters, and your personal statement. But even though the Common App is in fact very common, not all schools use it. Some schools still make you fill out their own specific application on their own specific application platform instead. And even whole university systems like the state schools of California can have their own non-common application portals. But Common App or no, something every college application has is a deadline. But that deadline isn't universal even for Common App schools. Every place gets to set their own. And even for just one school, you might see 2 or 3 different dates. That's because colleges have different kinds of deadlines, depending on whether you want to apply regular decision or early. Most students apply to most schools' regular decision. It's what you probably think of when you think about applying for college. And while every school has its own regular decision deadline, they usually fall sometime in January, and you can usually expect to hear back in March or April. But let's be real, those months of waiting can suck, which is why some students decide to apply early action or early decision. Those deadlines are usually in October or November of the year before you want to start college, and you'll usually get an answer by December. Some colleges even say you have better odds of getting in if you apply early. At the very least, it's a way of letting the school know you're really, really serious about them. But early action and early decision aren't exactly the same thing. The big difference is that early action is usually non-binding, which means if the college offers you a spot, you don't have to take it. You can usually apply early action to a couple of your schools, and then make your decision once you know where you got in, just like you would with regular decision. But early decision is binding, which means you're basically promising that if they accept you, you're definitely going there. Like they'll literally make you sign a contract saying so. Now, your college isn't gonna literally kidnap you and shackle you to your twin XL dorm bed, but they definitely will tell on you to other colleges, which will make it harder to get accepted anywhere else. And if colleges find out you've applied early decision to 2 schools, you risk losing both acceptances. So you should only apply early decision to your number 1 school, and only if you're positive that's where you want to go. And even if you don't get in, your early application will get rolled in with regular applications, so there's still a chance you'll be admitted in the spring along with everyone else. Side note, I was rejected by my top college choice 3 different times, once after I'd already rejected them. It was a whole thing, and it was discouraging at the time, but kind of funny now. But none of this means you should only apply to 1 school. It's a good idea to get to work on all those other schools on your list for that regular decision deadline as you wait to hear back. So in the event you aren't accepted early, you'll still be ready to hit all those other January deadlines. Unfortunately, applying to college doesn't just take time, work, and organization. It can also take some money. Don't stress out too much. The application process is still a bargain compared to actually paying tuition. But each application will cost a little something, usually around $50 a pop to submit. And if you decide to take those standardized tests, you'll have to pay for those as well. $68 for the SAT and $65 for the ACT. Or more if you sign up late, change your testing center, or want to add on extra tests like the ACT writing or science tests. It can also cost additional fees if you apply to more than 4 schools or want access to scores that are over a few years old. Official transcripts can cost a little something too, especially if you've been out of high school for a while, but usually still come in at under $10. You definitely shouldn't let these costs stop you from applying to college. There are fee waivers available for students who qualify to help alleviate some of the financial burden. If you're still in high school, you can chat with your guidance counselor to see if you meet the requirements and get set up. If you've already graduated, you might have to do some legwork and paperwork yourself, but waiver information is available online for individual colleges, the Common App, and the ACT and SAT. No matter where or when or how you decide to apply, it's a good idea to start the process with as much leeway as you can to ensure you have time to get all your collegiate ducks in a row before those due dates. But while we can't do the actual application compiling for you, we can walk you through the general timeline and hook you up with this nifty tracker to help you stay organized and monitor your progress. A lot of people will tell you you should start the whole college application process something like 2 years before you plan to enroll, if you can. But don't worry, that first step is pretty chill and requires no essay writing, test taking, or transcript wrangling. Just a little bit of research into the colleges you might want to eventually apply to. There's a lot to consider as you begin to make your list of schools, from what you think you want to study, to how much tuition costs, to whether you should go in or out of state. So it's good to give yourself plenty of time to explore. Many students even decide to visit the schools they're considering to get a feel for the vibe beyond the website. But don't worry, you don't have to lock your list in just yet. This is just preliminary research. Around the same time, about 2 years before you want to enroll, it's a good time to start thinking about whether or not you want to take those standardized tests. As you research, you should definitely double check your potential school's testing requirements and do some prep work if you decide you're going to go for it. If you're still in high school, your school will probably offer you the chance to take the PSAT sometime in the fall of your junior year. It's good practice for the SAT and can sometimes help you get merit scholarships for college. And no matter how old you are, if you do decide to take the SAT, ACT, or both, there's other kinds of practice you can do too. There are full-on prep courses available, but a much more accessible option is to purchase a workbook and do it yourself, or even look online for free test prep resources. Most people who take these tests try to do so in the spring before they start applying. That way, even if you don't get the score you want the first time, you have time for a retake, or 2, or 3. If you already know what schools you want to apply to, you can let the testing company know to send your scores directly to those colleges to save you the step later down the road. After all this, the bulk of your college application labor really starts in earnest towards the end of that summer. The Common App prompts don't change a whole lot year to year, but they do release the official list in August, so you can pick one out and start writing your personal statement. You can also start filling out the other pieces of the Common App, even if you're still not 100% sure where you want to apply yet. And those colleges with their own admissions platforms usually open their applications around this time too. So if they have their own essay prompts, you can get a head start on those as well. When fall hits, it's time to start asking for your letters of recommendation. You can ask for a rec letter with a formal email, or a polite conversation with a follow-up email. But that follow-up email is very important, don't forget it. Usually, there's a place in your application to enter your recommenders' names and emails so they can send them a link directly once you have them confirmed. After you've got all those basics in the works, it's finally time to lock down what colleges you actually want to apply to. Generally, people recommend having 5 to 8 of them on your list, with a good mix of likely, fit, and reach schools in college speak. That just means you'll want to apply to a couple schools you're pretty positive you'll get into and will be able to afford, a couple you think are a solid match for your skills, and a couple you're not sure you'll get into, but it would be pretty awesome if you did. With your list in hand, start completing those colleges' specific applications, and be sure to make note of their specific deadlines. Remember that even if a school is on the Common App, they might have their own essay questions or other components on top of the regular personal statement, so give yourself plenty of time for all the finishing touches. If you're choosing to submit those standardized test scores and haven't already had them submitted automatically to your colleges of choice, you'll want to get those set up as well. If you haven't already arranged to send your scores to the schools on your list when you took the test, all you have to do is reach out to the SAT or ACT companies directly to let them know which additional schools you'd like to send your results to. It's also time to get those official transcripts in too. If you're still in the middle of your senior year, your guidance counselor might send an unofficial transcript at first to let colleges know how you're doing. But they'll have to follow up with an official one after you graduate to prove it was all true. Otherwise, I could tell them I aced AP Calc, which, as far as you know, is true. But if high school is a far distant twinkle in your eye, all you have to do is call up your former high school or the place where you got your GED and pay that small fee. Some schools even save you the phone call and offer an online portal where you can request your transcript yourself. Once your personal statement is written, your supplemental questions are answered, your personal recommendations solicited, and your transcript and test scores requested, it's time to sit back, relax, and give everything a good, thorough review, of course. It's a good idea to leave yourself a couple days before actually submitting them to make sure you fill out every single part to the very best of your ability. But after you've clicked that daunting submit button, all that's left to do is wait. And buy yourself a sweet treat, of course. If you're thinking about applying to college, check out our channel where you'll find more tips about navigating college applications and choosing a major. To find out how to earn college credit with Study Hall, go to gostudyhall.com or click on the link in the description. And if you want to help us out, give this video a like, tell us about your ideal college essay prompt in the comments, and smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time.